Green Industry Hall of Fame Committee would like to congratulate all inductees for the 2015 event. We are very proud to show you this video. Thank you very much.
And it's Tom Spellman. Go. There we go.
Thank you. Wow, what a room. You guys are all a hard act to follow. I first met my good friend Dave Lanham well over 35 years ago. And I don't want to say it was a long time ago, but at the time I had a full head of hair and I was driving a 69 GTO. Dave encouraged me early on. One of the first things that he said was, specialize. Don't just be involved in the nursery industry. Find something you like. Find a facet you like and specialize. And I did that. And that's one of the best pieces of advice that anybody ever gave me. Another thing I learned from Dave early on was he came up with a statement where he told me, he goes, anybody that says that they have an issue, a nursery issue, and they don't really know what it is, they'll call it a syndrome. So it's some sort of a fungal syndrome or an insect syndrome. It really means that they don't have any idea what they're talking about. But Dave has been a wonderful person over the years. I've had many, many opportunities to work with him and correspond with him and be involved in what he does. And I don't think that there is a bigger portion of this industry that is as important as education. Dave has influenced literally thousands of people in Southwestern horticulture to make themselves into what they are today. And I think that is just such an important thing, to be an educator, to be a mentor, to be a positive influence on the young minds in this industry. And since you've done it for so long, most of the people in this room that are anybody in the industry have been influenced by you over the years. So I just can't thank you enough for all that. But it's really, for me, it's been more than that. You've influenced me in more ways than just horticulture. I've always followed your hairstyle. I'm much more comfortable in a Hawaiian shirt and shorts than I am in this coat and tie. But for you, I'm here with this on tonight. So I just want to say thank you, Dave, for all the wonderful things that you've done, for all the positive influences that you've been on everybody. And I thought there would be no better way to really represent you than to interview some of the people that work with you on a regular basis. So one day when you weren't at the school, I went over to the campus and I interviewed a few of the people that you work with on a regular basis over there. So I talked to Teresa, and wonderful girl. Teresa was just an absolute gem. And she said, I said, tell me something about Dave. What would you like me to say about Dave for you? And she said, well, Dave is easy to understand. Dave is always making sure that you understand everything that he's putting forward. If you don't understand it, he'll go back and he'll discuss it again. He'll use different analogies to make it easy for people to understand. I think that was a really important statement. She also said that you're a very personal, hands-on instructor, and I've always found that to be true. You're always very involved in what's going on in your classroom and with your students, and very forward with your students. And then she said something that shocked me. She said, Dave hates pink flamingos. Now, I don't know why anybody would hate pink flamingos, but we'll discuss that a little bit more as I go on. Next, I talked to Gabby, another wonderful student that you have working there in the nursery. And Gabby said to me that, and I don't want to say that Dave's old, but Gabby said to me that she's a third-generation student. That her grandfather took Dave's course. Her mother took Dave's course, and now she's taking Dave's course. So you've influenced 3 generations of Gabby's family. I think that's fantastic. Now, she also said she drives all the way from Los Angeles to come and attend school and work with you there at the nursery. And I think that's a statement that means a lot. Then I asked her, I said, describe Dave in one word. And she said, awesome. And then she said, no, big heart. So I'll give her those 3 words instead of just one. You're awesome and you have a big heart. Then I talked to Pamela, another wonderful student that you have there. And she said, I've been taking Dave's classes and working with Dave for years, and Dave is always happy. Dave always has a smile on his face. Every time he comes to work, he has a positive attitude, and he always has a smile on his face, and he's always very concerned with the well-being of his students. I think that's really important. I think that is something that, that shows Dave. Everybody had the same positive opinions about Dave Lamb. And I asked her, I said, describe Dave in one word for me. And she said, reliable. No. Humble. No. Encouraging. No. Altruistic. And I have to apologize. I never looked up the word altruistic to see what it actually means. But she was very impressed with it. I talked to Siri, and she told me that Dave is always listening. Dave always has his ear out. Anytime anybody has a problem or a question or a concern, Dave's right there and addresses that and makes sure that they get the information that they need to solve their problem and take care of their action. And then I said, well, okay, you describe Dave in one word for me. And she said, passionate. And then she said, no, a positive reinforcement. And I thought, boy, all of those nobody can come up with a single word. Everybody has to describe them in 2 or 3 or 4 words. And I thought, that means something. That means that there's more to Dave than one word. So he's a hard person to describe in one word. I talked to your good friend Joseph. And Joseph told me that Dave is interested in each individual student on an individual basis, and he never addresses anybody as a class or as a group. Dave addresses everybody individually and speaks to everybody individually. That's Johnny. That is the type of instructor that a student feels they can go to you and they can work with you on problems or questions or concerns, and you're not going to just address this on a classroom level. You're going to address this on an individual level for each and every student. That generates a huge amount of success. So then I asked David, what's your one word? How would you describe David in one word? Mentor, always interesting, and fearless. I like that, fearless. I thought that was a really, really good description. I talked to your good friend and probably who works closer with you than anybody, Jesus Ramirez, who Jesus has been a part of your program for many years and your right-hand man for many years, and just a great guy for me to work with also. And Jesus told me that Dave's teaching is all about inspiring his students. That Dave is polite, easy to listen to, very understanding, and the most giving person that I've ever had the opportunity to work with. Dave tends to treat everybody like family. And I've found that over the years. I've noticed that over the years. And Jesus did give me one word, giving. So you have a whole group of people, and I just talked to a handful. I would venture to say that half the people in this room would have similar good descriptions of the things that Dave Lamb has done over the years. So Dave, if I have the opportunity in my career to mentor or influence 8 or 10 people, half as well as you've mentored and educated thousands, I would feel that I had made a great accomplishment. I think that everything that you've done for this industry is awe-inspiring. There's so many people out there that can relate their early experiences in this industry to your positive influence. You have to be really, really proud of that. And anybody deserves this award in this room tonight. It's absolutely, in my opinion. So my one word to describe Dave Lamb was amazing, and then inspiring, and then one of a kind. Congratulations for the honor, Dave. You deserve every single bit. One more thing. I'm not quite done. We do have a plaque for you, but I have something that I'd like to personally present to you. No, the next time I come into the campus, I want to see that displayed in your office.
Target practice, Dave.
Out by the pond.
Thank you so much for being who you are.
Okay, tip it toward me. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom, for the kind words. I guess I'll explain the pink flamingo, huh?
I'd like to hear it.
Years ago, when drought wasn't such a dirty word, I said landscapes need to have light plants in them, not artificial turf, Brian. And not a mobile home used to be landscaped with white rock and pink flamingos. And I told anybody that turned the plant in with white rock and pink flamingos was going to get enough. I had pink flamingo Christmas lights and all sorts of pink flamingos that appeared in my yard overnight. And just some that'll go in my office. You know, I could have a little bit of time. First of all, I'd like to thank the Gatorade Industry Hall of Fame, Charles Nunley and Rich and Marcy. This is a humbling honor to be placed amongst all these great people, and I find it sometimes overwhelming. I'd like to thank the nursery and horticultural professionals. There's a lot of them in this room that have supported the Mount SAC program. You know, I was teaching Russ Kelly. I think Russ Kelly's now 40 years of giving me field trips. And, you know, you have people that support your program like Russ and Tom and all of the nursery professionals. And the nice thing about all that is the relationships and friendships that have developed over the years. I'd like to thank my team at Mount SAC. There's several here tonight, but they hired this crazy guy that had hair 31 years ago, and kind of said, let's let him see what he can do. And sometimes I cross the line, and once in a while I have to be lassoed. But they really supported the agriculture and the horticultural program over the years. And that's nice to have an administration and a department and a team like that. I would like to thank my mentors. I won't name them all, but I've had several mentors. I had one favorite one, a fellow named Harold Peck that taught 37 years at Cal Poly, and he was an amazing man. And to the day he passed away, he would listen to me and say, Dave, don't you think you maybe ought to do it just a little bit differently? Or maybe you ought to sand that rough edge. I did have some rough edges at times, so they need to be sanded once in a while. I would like to thank my family. My wife, Julie, has stuck with me and put up with all this nonsense for 48 years. But we signed an annual contract. We renew each year. We don't make any long-term commitments. And my daughters, Margie, Connie and Vicki, my surrogate son, Jesus Ramirez. I've grown to love him like a son over the years, so he's an essential part of our family. My son-in-law, Tim, whose only problem is he's from Boston and he's a New England Patriot fan. That's hard to handle. And then we've been blessed just recently with my granddaughter, Faith, my first granddaughter. She's been in the room tonight, and I'm really happy that she's been here to hear me speak. You know, someone, I don't know if it was Brian or someone that asked me, Dave, are you going to tell any stories, or do you have to tell stories? Well, that's my whole method of teaching is storytelling. So I've got two stories to send you home with. One involves Peggy Perry. We taught together, I think when when she came to Cal Poly, she was 10 years old teaching. And she always wondered about me, but you notice tonight I'm not wearing a tie. I only own 2 ties, and I figured none of you would recognize me with an Aloha, or wouldn't recognize me without an Aloha shirt. I've got a fantastic collection of Aloha shirts, and they can't vary in all of these, so maybe I'll make a quilt or something. But I've never known to be a GQ. I've never known to be dressed well. And when I was at Cal Poly, I taught a lot of lab courses, so I wore Red Wing boots. And Peggy, do you remember Joe Carter? Oh yeah. Joe called me up one day and said, first day of classes, Joel says, Jim Ding is sick and you need to take this class this afternoon, and I don't want you wearing those damn Red Wing boots. So my wife was so considerate, she got me wingtip shoes with leather soles. This class had about 100 people in it with a bunch of different labs. And I'm standing up in front with a table, and all of a sudden I'm underneath the table in the first row of seats on my back. And, so I got up and said, do I have your attention now? All right, one last story, and then I'll cut it short. And my friend Matt Judd, who's my dean now, will appreciate this because he inherited the dean's position just recently. Some of you that are former students, can you imagine a person falling asleep in my class? It just doesn't happen. And I didn't know this fellow had a sleep disorder. But week after week, at night, he would fall asleep. So one night, he fell asleep and he would snore. And the kids in the back of the class didn't hurt him because he was snoring. So I went to the class, and everybody got up quietly, walked out of the classroom, and the janitor found him at 4:30 in the morning. So his predecessor, Larry Redinger, calls me down to the office in the morning. Good news like that doesn't take long to travel around campus. And Larry is trying to chew me out and say how unprofessional I was, but he was laughing so hard he was crying. So that didn't do much good. But anyhow, thank you guys for this great honor.